Greetings from the Boogie Down South Bronx. This is Jeffrey Cortez again. We're going to be reading from my Quirky novel, a memoirs of Pastor Rajatabla, Pentecostal Private Eye. You'll be able to purchase this book in paperback form or in Kindle through Amazon. Also, if you would like to order for pickup, you could order as a pickup at a Barnes & Nobles near you, but you're going to have to do it online. And you choose the location nearest to you, the nearest Barnes & Nobles to you. They may be able to also ship it to you, but that you would check out on the Barnes & Nobles website, okay? So I'm going to be reading out of chapter 15 and a description of the intention of the book. The category or purpose of the book is in the description below. I posted that and you could read that, and also a quick understanding of the format of the book as the Raja, his nickname, the pastor's nickname is Raja. He investigates mysteries that are given to him by concerned members of the community and also of nearby congregations, whether it be members of nearby churches or leaders. And due to his observation skills, discernment, he's able to find out what's the cause of these mysteries, hysteria, whatever. And he writes in his journal, which he has nicknamed Tabla, and that's the inside joke, Raja Tabla. All right, so chapter 15 is love you, but don't gotta trust you. Love you, but don't gotta trust you. And the introduction Bible verse is John chapter 2, verse 24. But Jesus knew what was in their hearts, and he would not let them have power over him. Okay, so let's check this out. Chapter 15. Okay. Raja and his wife Tesoro traveled across town to pick up some items they saw on sale. They had a low maintenance lifestyle and were not bondservants to brand names. Tesoro tapped Raja's shoulders and pointed to a building where several police cars were parked at a couple of years ago. The building had belonged to a well-known religious organization with a historical reputation for social justice. Raja had worked there part-time as a counselor. The organization liked his demeanor, and especially that he was a credentialed minister. Although not credentialed with them, they apparently liked the idea of having both a trained counselor and unofficial chaplain for the price of one. A couple of months into his employment, their staff were very unpleased with how rudely he had treated a prestigious client. This resulted in Raja being let go. Raja had enjoyed working there before this incident. His only felt aggravation while working there was an inconvenient glitch with the payroll. He had to go all the way downtown to pick up his paycheck at the organization's divisional headquarters, while the local staff enjoyed the convenience of getting their bi-weekly salary in cash at the site. Tesoro interlocked her arm with her husband as they continued walking away from the building and remembering God's covering over them in the midst of disappointments. Dear Tabla, had a lovely afternoon with my sweetheart Tesoro. shopping for some sales and discounts. We walked by one of my old job sites where I had been employed for a very short time. It was a very good religious organization that helped many needy families and advocated for them. Juanita from the neighborhood came to the head of that ministry, Major Solberg, asking for help. Her son, Peter, had been arrested and going to court at a nearby state with the charges of drug trafficking. The major knew Peter ever since he was a youngster in the neighborhood. With the support and influence of that ministry, the young man had greatly thrived educationally to the level that he became an adjunct professor at a very prestigious Ivy League university. Now he had been arrested and appeared to most likely get a severe sentence. The court judge took note of Major's presence during the proceedings and allowed him to advocate for Peter. The judge had great respect for the historic organization that Major Solberg represented and gave him custody of Peter as long as he attended mandated counseling. The major assigned Peter's mandated counseling to me and asked me to figure out what made him tick. It was a well-dressed and manicured Peter I met at the small office allotted to me. As I sat down, he asked for my credentials and wanted me to explain to him how I was qualified to counsel him, a highly accomplished, educated man. Shifting from my innate sense of heated indignation over to trusting God's refining fire, I lovingly pointed out that I wasn't there to be screened by him. Rather, he was there because he had grandly messed up. We had a very sobering talk, slowly entering a path of what I thought would be a mutual respect. As we ended the session, I needed to step out, and I asked Peter to please step out the office while I lock it up. After a couple of sessions, Peter asked why that he needed to step out and why I locked up off the office, as well as not allow him to enter the office at the times he came to the appointments early or before the office was open. I then pointedly informed him that although I loved him, I wasn't necessarily mandated to trust him. The staff took a wind of my brief hallway conversation with Peter and confronted me, saying that I needed to be more understanding and compassionate. I stood my ground, and resentment from the staff brewed. They would mockingly refer to me as reverendo reventado, which is equivalent to Reverend Busted Gasket. Shortly after, the major informed me that he would not be able to keep me aboard for budget reasons. He, however, gave me a few paid days off. That day, the day before I took those freebie days, I met with Peter for our last session together. He looked contrite that day and disclosed that he had been struggling with his deep love of scheming and plotting. There appeared to be a breakthrough. As we departed from the office area, he overheard staff wishing me farewell from working there. Peter then looked at me and asked if I was really leaving. When I responded that that was true, he smiled, telling me that he was sorry to hear that. A few days off After a few days off, I returned to get some of my office knickknacks and greeted some of the somber-looking staff. I was informed that Peter had been volunteering at the site. The custodian, Justino, had the duty of picking up the biweekly cashed payroll from the bank. He took a liking to Peter, who he let assist him in order to build up his morale. After picking up the cashed payroll, Justino went into a bodega to pick up some café, leaving Peter in the ministry's spanking new van to avoid any parking tickets. When Justino returned with the coffee, no van, no payroll, no Peter. But I was still able to pick up my pay from the downtown headquarters. What was meant for my aggravation, God meant it for a whoa, holy cow moment for me. Okay? Bendición y bendiciones.